Alright, what's up everybody? We are live here with another TNA LockDown review. I'm your host, Tony, with my co-host as always, the Bizarre One, Dave. How you doing tonight, Dave?
I'm doing good. Pretty solid show tonight.
Yeah, we're here doing a Friday night TNA review. Yes, Friday night. On these special occasions, we will be doing these live review shows after TNA is over. And tonight was one of them, which was TNA LockDown, where we saw tag team titles on the line. We saw a lethal lockdown match, a knockouts match, a singles match with Rude and Eric Young, and some other stuff that we will get into on tonight's video. So let's just jump right into it, where we saw the tag team titles put on the line against the Hardys with James Storm and Abyss. Pretty solid tag team match. Saw some high-risk maneuvers, of course, off the cage. A lot of stuff. A lot of people getting thrown into the cage. The match itself was good. The interference in the match, to me, I think kind of killed the match to me. I think the ref should have either threw him out or they shouldn't have been down there at all. It's a cage match. They shouldn't even be getting involved at all. I liked how they handcuffed Manic at one point, but that fall Jeff Hardy had was pretty crazy. What were your thoughts on the match?
Yeah, I know a lot of people have been thinking James Storm's group is kind of like the Wyatt family, but when I'm looking more and more at this group, it seems kind of more like Raven's flock. You know, if you remember that, it kind of reminds me of that a lot, where the guys are always running in the ring and running in the ring. Kind of like something like that to me. But the match was good. I mean, a lot of spots. I mean, tonight we've seen a lot of people going headfirst into the cage. I mean, so it was a good match. I mean, that spot where Jeff fell, I mean, he almost hit his head for a minute. We might be having a different kind of video. But, yeah, I mean, it kind of reminds me of that a lot, where the guys are all...
He did duck his head just in time.
That's
That's for sure. He could have severely been injured. I think Abyss kind of slows down that tag team. I think if it was like Sonata or even that Indian dude, I think I'd enjoy it better.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I agree with you on the Ravens flock comparison, because in the Ravens flock, it was like a bunch of randoms that, you know, he just put together. And that's what the Revolution is. They're just a bunch of random people. They're not like the Wyatt family, who are actually like resembled each other kind of.
Yeah.
They're you know, you got a masked man, a Japanese wrestler, an Indian wrestler, a monster, an Abyss, if you want to call them, and then James Storm. So
That one dude is a beast. I mean, jeez.
yeah, I mean, he hasn't really been given time.
Yeah, but he still looks like just what he did tonight, what he should be doing it all the time. Just pulled Matt Hardy out of the cage and then just basically beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, he did look jacked though.
He's no Reese, but still.
Yeah, so Revolution retained their tag titles. Jeff Hardy apparently is injured, and who knows?
I mean, he bounced off those steps. I mean, jeez, I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, it was a pretty nice debunk, but
I mean, when he did slip and fall on the door, I mean, maybe that wasn't supposed to happen like that. Maybe he was actually supposed to go through a table, and it just, I don't know. But when he slipped, it was like, it just looked bad, and then the bump he took when he bounced, it was like, oh.
so don't expect them seeing on the UK Impact. So yeah. Anyways, and we move on. MVP had a little promo after that, pretty much trying to convince Kurt Angle and to not continue on in this lethal lockdown match, that they'll end up being like Jeff Hardy injured, and just trying to convince Kurt Angle not to go through with the match. Kurt Angle comes out, kind of tried to play it off with MVP. Says he's not going to not have the match. Says let's just start this match now. I'm gonna kick your ass. So that's the regular stuff from Kurt Angle. They end up going into the ring. Eric Young was in there as well. Yeah, I mean, it was all right.
I mean, it was better than them starting the show like this, I think. They did it after a match, and then I think it worked because it wasn't the start of the show they're talking. So to me, I didn't matter too much, and it set up the beatdown that they would give to Gunner.
Yeah, they gave a beat down to Gunner. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. And they smashed his arm into the cage door, so it puts more of a disadvantage on Kurt Angle's team because he's already downed a member. So, and now Gunner's hurt. The one thing I'm gonna gripe about, and it just bothers me, and it may not bother other people. It's how Austin Aries has to carry around a briefcase, because I do not remember them having to carry around a briefcase when they won that particular shot.
Yeah.
Did they? I mean,
because they were forgotten. I mean, remember when James Storm cast in like the last actual episode of Impact on Spike? Everyone basically forgot he even had the briefcase because he never carried it around.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
So maybe that's what they're trying to get at. Don't want people to know that these guys. They want them to know, oh yeah, these guys have these briefcases. So keep reminding people they have a title shot anytime they want. Maybe that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, to me, it just seems like a cheap ripoff. But yeah, it's all right. It's just a little gripe. But yeah, we had that. So I mean, like you said, it was after a match. It was probably to kind of settle down the crowd too after that, pretty big tag team match. But yeah, I agree. Not too bad. Let's get to this knockouts match between Karma and Havoc. What did you think?
Or Awesome Kong, however you prefer to call it.
Sorry, yes, I apologize. Awesome Kong. And to not forget to mention that Josh Matthews also actually brought up her time in WWE.
I like how he did it.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool how he put a little touch on that. But
because he was there too. That's what makes it a little different than Mike Tenay talking about it.
Yeah. But what did you think of the match itself?
I mean, I was worried because like, okay, is this match could be really good or really bad? And the match wasn't bad. It was just like two big guys going at it, but it was two big girls just beating the crap out of each other. And that's pretty much, like you said earlier, you didn't like the finish, but I mean, the match all in all was pretty hard hitting, and like you thought, we never really seen Karma or Kong as being beat down in a match before. If you ever watched her in TNA or the WE for a brief stint, she was there. She was always the dominant force. So it was interesting to see her as a good guy / good girl, face, whatever you want to call her. It was different. Good match though.
Yeah, the only reason why I didn't really care for the ending is because it kind of came off crappy. But like I was saying, the match itself was damn good. I actually really enjoyed the match. I loved how they, kind of went at it outside the ring, and then they, she went into the cage a couple of times. That being Havoc. Havoc took a lot of abuse tonight from Kong, and she brought it to Kong too. I mean, I liked the exchanges that they had as well. It was a good match. Me complaining about the ending is just me nitpicking.
For once, the crowd.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just saying that for once the crowd actually was right by them always saying better than Divas. Tonight, this really was better than the Divas because, and these two just went out there and just probably had one of the best matches of the night, if not the third or fourth best match on the show. I mean, if this wasn't the worst match of the night. So I mean, I don't think there really was a bad match tonight, but there's some stuff I could have done without. But I mean, other than that, it was interesting, and this match was another match I was worried about, and it actually turned out pretty good.
Yep. All right. So next we had Eric Young take on Bobby Roode in a one-on-one match in a cage. Like I don't know if I mentioned, every match was in a cage tonight. Um, this match is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, another, another really good match. I was kind of hoping these would have been the two guys that would have started outside the ring, instead of seeing Kong and Havoc be the ones who just. I mean, the match was good. Maybe they were rushed on time. Maybe that's the reason it. I mean, the match was still good, but I would like to see them go a little bit longer than what they actually did.
Hmm.
But I mean, the match was good. I mean,
Eric Young got busted open, so he was bleeding.
so I don't know. I'm still not sure he was busted open. Because the way TNA does this fake blood stuff all the time, which if you're going to do that, don't even do it. But maybe if he was bleeding, I mean, hey, good, they're going to go that route, but it just didn't seem like no blood I've seen like from like the Attitude Era or even the 80s. It didn't seem nothing like that.
Were you shocked how easily he beat Eric Young?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking Eric Young was going to win this. If you would have asked me to predict before the match, like, it makes sense. But now you got a chance for another match between those two as well. But Rude said he's done with him. But, I mean, yeah, it was good. I mean, at least this time this and the Havoc match was the only two match, or at least the first hour, only two matches without any interference. So, besides, you want to count MVP throwing a chair in there as interference? I really don't. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it would have been cool. I mean, what are we calling this? The Rude Bomb? Is it the Attitude Adjustment? Is it Death Valley Driver? I'm still not really sure what the move is. Seems more like an Attitude Adjustment to me.
Yeah, he wins by doing it on the chair on Eric Young and
You
gets.
should have pile drived him.
Oh yeah, that would have been crazy. Next we had Spud and Mandrews versus Tyrus. This match was actually a pretty fun match.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean,
Spud reminds me of a really cheap version, really cheap version of Spike Dudley.
oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, that spot he did, he about missed Tyrus. It's like, jeez, he barely, I think he might have grazed him with his leg. That's about it. So he basically did a front flip, if you want to call it a flip, like, onto the mat, basically, off the top of the cage. Like,
Yeah. Tyrus ends up getting the win.
At least it wasn't Kurt Angle. It's like, jeez.
Yeah, because Kurt Angle will kill himself. Yeah, I mean, I guess it continues the feud. I don't know if this is gonna. I don't know what the hell they're doing. I guess they have nothing for. I mean, it's not. I guess he's still hurt, and they don't want.
Now, do you have a problem with throughout tonight's episode, even in the first 15 minutes of the show, they kept showing previews for next week's episode?
Yeah, I don't.
It's like, why would you show it during the show?
Yeah, I don't like it to do that. I don't like that they do that at all.
And to say a legend is returning and you show a guy standing there with a microphone, I mean, really? Like, we don't know who that is?
Yeah.
Why not just a blank spot, legend returning, that's it. Not show a image of him.
Or talk about it during the show or something. I don't.
No.
I guess I know that. I understand they need the viewership.
And if you see on Twitter, it looks like it's going to be spoiler alert, I don't know if I want to say who's coming back next week, but this guy who is coming back next week is probably looks like he's gonna be feuding with EC3
Oh, yeah.
because he put it out on Twitter that about EC3, so it's like, okay. Well, in case you guys don't know who it is, I'm not gonna say it, so you'll find out next week. But it looks like that's what he's gonna be coming to Spud's rescue.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait. Yeah, so let's get to the main event, which was Lethal Lockdown itself with Team Angle versus BDC, the Beatdown Clan. I'm sorry, which is MVP, Low-Key, Samoa Joe, and Kenny King.
I keep forgetting who's in this group. Like, I'm sitting here watching the clock count down, like, who else is in the group? I keep forgetting who's all in this group.
Yeah, because you keep wanting to think it's Eric Young in the group too, but
Yeah, like, oh wait, he's fighting Bobby Roode. For a minute, I thought maybe Bobby Roode would have came down if they didn't do that whole ploy tonight, but yeah, it worked, I guess.
yeah, versus Team Angle, which was a hurt Gunner. Like, why of all the guys you pick Gunner? Gunner and Austin Aries, and also, of course, Kurt Angle, as everybody knows. If you don't know, I'm sorry. In the TNA Lethal Lockdown format, you start off with 1-on-1, and then it's a 2-minute countdown, and then the one guy from the team comes down, and then so on and so forth.
It's their version of War Games. They're trying to mimic War Games. That's basically all it is.
Yes, and I keep wanting to call them bad. The Beatdown Clan had the advantage where they would have the 2-on-1 advantage for the 2 minutes. They started off with Kenny King and Gunner. You give me your thoughts on the match and the ending and what you thought.
I enjoyed it. I mean, because I think before they had the brought the 6 sides, I think there was a top where they would have weapons. That's the only thing that was different, because before it would say, then you can use weapons when the top comes down. And that's what made it lethal. I don't know, how could they call it Lethal Lockdown when they weren't really locked down? They were just in a cage. So it really wasn't Lethal Lockdown, but I guess it was just 6 guys in a cage, or 8 guys, whatever it is. Yeah, 4-on-4, yeah, 8 guys in a cage. But yeah, it was a fun match. I mean, yeah, you had all your spots. You had, the Beatdown Clan gets their man advantage, and then Angle comes out, and then they never had, which is odd, they never even had a countdown for, like, Bobby Roode at all, or Bobby Lashley. It was just like, his music hit, he walks out. I mean, it was different. One problem I had with towards the ending, when it was odd that everyone got a reversal and everyone hit a submission. And then all of a sudden, MVP hits Lashley with a low blow, and he just stands there. He doesn't pull his guys or help his guys get out of these submissions. He just stands there and gets speared. That's one thing I was like, why wouldn't you go knock one guy out of the rack and the other guy out of something? You just stand there. And then Lashley doesn't really even, I guess he's a beast, so he doesn't have to sell a low blow shot. He just spears him anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
that was kind of odd, but yeah.
For what it was on
it was free TV. Hey, I'm not trying to complain too much about it. Just little stuff I didn't like about the match, but the match was good. The show was good. You can't complain really at all. I mean, it was a good show.
Yeah, and like Dave said, next week we have a legend in their eyes returning, and so I guess it's worth tuning into next week to see what goes down. But tonight,
I don't know what else they could do. Tonight was like blown the last month away, pretty much.
Yeah, tonight was good, and I mean they got to go on from there and see what goes on next. It's going to be hard to follow tonight's show, especially it being in cages and whatnot. But we shall see what goes down next.
What was your thought of it?
I enjoyed the match. I mean, not much really to say about it, but I mean, you knew coming into the match itself, you knew you were gonna like it. It was just who's gonna be the member that was going to be joining them if it wasn't Lashley. I'm pretty sure everybody had it in the back of their head that Lashley would probably end up joining them, at the end of the match or something, which he did. So it was a good match.
Yeah.
Not my favorite match of the night, but it
So what would you think the match of the night was?
um the match I actually enjoyed the most, to be honest with you, it was actually kind of a tie between the Knockouts match and the Spud and Mandrews versus Tyrus match. To be honest with you, that's the matches I actually enjoyed. Wrestling wise, I mean, you probably would say Rude and Young.
Yeah, I was more looking forward to that match than more Lethal Lockdown. Not so much. Because I was like, man, sitting there watching, like, these guys, this should be for the world title. Eric Young and Rude, this would be an awesome world title match right now. It's like, wow, why isn't this for the world title? And it's like, and Bobby Lashley, yeah, he's a dominant champion, but he's not really in a storyline with anybody. I guess BDC. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know. To me, he's almost, I don't want to say he's stale as champion because he's great in the ring, but he hasn't. Last person he faced was the Fatal 4-Way last week, which is a good match, but it's like he's not really doing it as champion. Really, they need like a Bobby Roode or a Eric Young or even MVP as champion. I think
yeah. I
they
mean,
need somebody who can talk and somebody who I guess is more. I'm not saying Bobby Lashley isn't believable, but it just seems like someone else's champion will work better right now. I think.
I think they're definitely slowly building a storyline between Lashley and the BDC, or Lashley and MVP. Somewhere down the line, I'm sure the MVP will get a title shot, or
I wouldn't mind seeing Kurt Angle versus Bobby Lashley for the title, though. Honestly.
yeah. I mean, I would not be shocked to see that happen. To be honest.
One thing I was thinking about watching this match, I'm like, man, I remember a few years ago watching Kurt Angle, and he looked really skinny and didn't look like the same person. And it seems like right now he seems like he was in the shape he was in the WE, where he's big and bulky, you know? Like when a few years ago, maybe 5, 6 years ago, he seemed like he was like really skinny.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, now he just seems like the Kurt Angle from the WE right now, which is good, I think, and it just reminds you of that same Kurt Angle. So I was like, okay, now this is the guy I remember watching. It's like, man, he looks really small. So either he's got in shape or got something else is going on with him or what. I don't know, but just glad to see he looked good tonight. I mean, the spot with MVP getting German I thought was funny because his reaction was hilarious. So yeah, I mean, it was a good show. Can't complain. I mean, it was free. I mean, we have to almost give it to TNA this week because that was even though Raw was pretty good and SmackDown you haven't seen it, but it's still pretty good. But yeah, I mean, have to give it to TNA. And if you guys haven't checked out NXT, I mean, go check that match out with Hideo Itami and Finn Balor. That was a good match.
Yes, definitely. Speaking of TNA, we will be back Wednesday with the
NXT, you mean?
takeover. Yes. What did I say? TNA? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
NXT, next week with their takeover special at 8 Eastern. So we'll probably be on at about 10:30 Eastern time, somewhere around there for the NXT.
And it looks like they added another match too. It looks like it's gonna be what's his name?
Corbin,
Hideo,
right?
Hideo and oh, Tyler Breeze. There you go. I couldn't think of his name. Tyler Breeze and Hideo. It looks like going to be added to the show.
Be a good match right there.
Yeah, because they showed a YouTube video where he was getting interviewed, and then Tyler Breeze jumps him. So I was like, oh, so like we were talking about online, that they should have whoever won that match should be on the show anyway. They both should.
Yeah. So, yeah, definitely. If you have Destination America, they actually show more replays of TNA than I thought. So I mean, you'll probably definitely get to see Lockdown. Probably. I know they definitely show them Saturday morning because I remember I came
Yeah,
home.
we show. Yeah, they show it. Basically, Impact Unlocked. I haven't really done a TNA video in a while, but Impact Unlocked is basically a replay of Impact with some little pop-up messages about facts. I guess Impact facts.
Yeah, because I remember I was watching it. I came home from work and it was on, and I was watching it, and I remember seeing stuff pop up. I was like, I don't remember seeing that when it was on.
Yeah, so they give you little interesting facts, or if you really care. They're saying it's from Mike Tenay, but I don't think it
And
is.
that's pretty cool, but I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and one cool thing about that show, if you want to sit there and like DVR it and skip through it, you do get interviews. I think Kurt Angle's getting interviewed tomorrow. So, I mean, it's cool to check out some of these interviews. Like Kenny King just did one, which is really cool, and they're doing Mike Tenay sitting down with some guys and interviewing them. So it's something different. I just honestly wish I could do without Impact Unlocked if they would just put like Explosion on Saturday mornings or something like that. Because I know they get it in the UK, so I was like, man, I wish they just put it on over here.
Yeah, but yeah, that's gonna pretty much wrap up the video tonight. Pretty good show. So if you have Destination America, like I was saying, it'll be on probably throughout the night tonight and tomorrow morning. And
Yeah, it'll be like 10, I believe, and then at 12 they're showing like the best of TNA wrestling. I think it's Mick Foley tomorrow.
yeah, so definitely check that out. We'll be back again on Monday night for another Monday Night Raw review. Sorry we weren't on live last night. I had no direct TV, had some technical issues. Had that all fixed today, obviously, but had no TV last night, so wasn't able to check SmackDown out. So this Thursday night, this coming next week Thursday, we will be live, as always, like we should have been this yesterday. And then probably, maybe if we feel like TNA stepped it up, not stepped it up, but if TNA has a really good show, we'll be live Friday night. But
We are definitely doing Wednesday next week, so even if we don't, we'll have that. And I'm sure we'll talk about how NXT is better than the WWE right now, but that's another video. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I mean, you guys don't know Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. I mean, the history of Ring of Honor, just YouTube it, and these guys had some unbelievable matches, and now they're getting a chance to have it on a big stage.
yeah, and not even that. You're gonna get Baylor versus Neville.
Yeah,
That match,
and I assume Bo Dempsey and
Dempsey versus Corbin in the no disqualification match.
I didn't hear that. Yeah, okay, yeah. And the four-way. If you guys want to see like women's wrestling, I mean, you're gonna see a pretty good match with Charlotte, Bayley, Becky, and Sasha. That's all of them. And those we got new and the new NXT Tag Champions. I mean, those guys, I like them. It's gonna be a rematch. So that'd be interesting.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be a solid show. That's if you have the WWE Network, of course. It's free this whole month, so even if you don't want the network, just get it for this week and just watch the special takeover.
Yeah, and Fastlane looking good. I mean, and even if you hate the current product, you got so much stuff on the network you could enjoy watching for days and days. So many past pay-per-views.
Yeah,
I mean,
not trying to promote anything. Definitely, look into it just to watch on Wednesday. Definitely came in handy for me last night when my DirecTV went out. So,
I mean, we've had it since day one, and we've enjoyed it. There wasn't as much content as there is now on there, but I mean, and you can get all these cool little specials. I mean,
I do wish they added more nitros.
Yeah.
Added more nitros, but
and Raw, because I can't go back. I like to, because you can't go back and like, if you want to watch Raw, then Nitro, Raw, then Nitro. I mean, there's only 95 up to December 18th or 19th, and then 96 isn't all there yet either. So it's kind of hard to go back and forth a little bit, but there's some really good matches. I mean, I was watching a Raw from 95 today, and Isaac Yankem versus Bret Hart in a cage match, which was really good.
yeah, so yeah, we could talk all night, but we'll be back on Monday night. Hope everybody enjoyed the video tonight. Thanks everybody for watching our Raw review. Almost hit 700 views. It was definitely a breath of fresh air since our last couple of videos on Raw weren't the greatest. I mean, we got nice views, but not 700, so we really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Getting a couple of subscribers as well, so we definitely appreciate it. We also really appreciate our TNA viewers. They always check out our videos. Even if it's not very many, we know that the ones that always check it out when we always do them. So we do appreciate that very much. We'll be back on Monday night with another Raw review, and then back Wednesday, Thursday, and possibly Friday. So it's going to be a busy, busy, busy wrestling video week for us next week. So we can't wait. Appreciate everybody for subscribing and liking our videos. We'll be back. Everybody have a great weekend. Any last words, Dave, before we sign out?
No, it should be it. Follow and subscribe, and thanks for all the views and subscribers.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, and have a great one.